Hi, my name is Shulanda. I was diagnosed with infiltrating memory carcinoma of the right breast because it spread beyond the breast into my armpit. I was also diagnosed with metastatic um, cancer as well. My initial reaction was one of shock. As the doctor was talking to me, the moment he said carcinoma, all I saw was his lips moving. I remember walking out the hospital and walking toward my car. And when I got in my car, I just saw three things. I saw the hospital, I knew I was in my car, and I saw my phone. A friend came to mind before family, anybody, and I ended up calling her. And interesting, we had just reconnected. We've been knowing each other since my teen years, but we have reconnected through a page on a Facebook page live where people have been praying for her because she was literally at death's door and here she was. And so I wasn't thinking that initially when I called her, but once she was on the phone, I realized the purpose in calling her first. I remember her first words was, no, you're going to beat this. This is not going to end. Um, this is not going to end possibly how it could. You're going to be here. You're going to stay here. So my answer to this is that you're going to heal, you're going to get better, and then you're going to end this sharing your story. My surgeon wanted to give me hope himself, and beyond, just the diagnosis and everything, he decided that we would do the surgery before the new year came in. So in my mind, I would not be carrying cancer into the new year because of the type of cancer I had, and it was 3 centimeters. It made me eligible to not necessarily have a mastectomy, but he was able to save my breast through having a lumpectomy. However, the next year came and it was now time for treatment. I remember being given the prescriptions, that the treatment that was gonna be the mixed combination in my bag, and it was the more aggressive treatment. And just reading through the different treatments and what would go into that mix and the risks and everything, I put it out of sight, out of mind. I said, I don't want to do this. I envision children in the cancer center and cancer hospital getting chemo all the time. And in my mind, I said, if they can do it, I can do it. During the chemo treatments, it was a lot of sleeping and not a lot of eating. And after a while, I started walking like I was 90. My recreation during the day was to make it out the apartment that I lived in upstairs and down the stairs to my car, to sit in the car. That was my breath of fresh air. And so when it came down to my last treatment, we could not get my white blood cell count up. And even with the medication called Lupron, that the shots that you take immediately after the chemo treatment, we couldn't get it, my white blood cell count to rise up. So from there, it was just going ahead and setting me up for radiation. So from radiation, a lot of post-op after that. What helped me during my journey is knowing in this life we're going to go through things. I settled the issue with living and dying in the beginning, and my faith in God, and also having a great support team, using them as my lifeline, having an amazing oncology team. A few of them have gone on to even be friends and still call to this day and check on me, which I really appreciate. And loved ones, encouragement, empowerment. And I'm grateful for that. I really believe that it was crucial to me having made it through the cancer journey. It's not an easy journey, but nonetheless, I'm here today and wanting to share with you that it's a sensitive thing to say, fight and you're going to make it. And I know that you can, but I also want to be able to empathize with the one who's currently going through it. And so I hope when someone hears my words, that they hear both, that you hear the hope, but that you also hear the empathy. I used my tagline of my coaching business during my cancer journey, Commit, Win, Reign Life Coaching. And I am not here to sell you the business, but I am here to encourage you to write down this tagline and what it stands for. It is living life from a victorious point of view. That victorious point is prioritizing our objective in no time. My objective beyond the initial shock was I want to live. And so it became, what do I need to do to live? Where the view comes in at is visible, interactive, educating and winning attitude. So visual is get a vision. What do you want to do post cancer? What are you doing? Where are you going? And the I is interacting with that vision. So there are days where it's going to be really trying, again, moments, days, hours, and keeping that in front of you. For me, I kept it right next to my television. So I spend a lot of time on the couch versus the room. You'll find your places where you are comfortable during your journey. And so it stayed there. So when my faith began to falter or my thoughts began to go left, I looked at something that looked at me and said, this is what we're going to do. And so daily, I found things to do toward my life post cancer, even while sometimes in the midst wondering if I was going to make it. And so I did that by making sure when I got to the E, which is educational, making sure I was really taking in what my surgeon was saying, what my navigational nurse was saying, what my oncologist was saying, and just really educating myself on the process and what I could do to self-advocate to help myself through this journey. And while they're fighting for me, I can join in with them and all the cheerleaders around to make sure that I'm doing my part. And then doing that all through a winning attitude, like purposing in the beginning to survive, because there's going to be so many things and so many times to come that will come to challenge that. You have to really push and press. So getting visual, being interactive, educating, and then going through it with a winning attitude. And so not only by the time we come out as survivors, we also reign